Happy fall, y'all.
It's like 93 and Shanna's like putting up a Christmas tree pretty much.
No, it's the first time we've actually been outside. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. Now, granted it's like 93 degrees, but we had it kind of leads into what we're going to talk about today, but we had our final last 100-degree day, hopefully. It was 111 degrees yesterday. Yeah. The hottest it's been. I mean, I think we've gotten to 109 to 110, but 111 yesterday with 100% humidity. It was miserable and awful. Yeah. We had a cold front come through last night. So, in storms, first time in 60-something plus days that we've had rain, and it came. Texas packed us with a punch. With a
vengeance, yeah. So Shannon and I, it was so hot outside, we weren't doing much. We were just hanging out in the house, and we saw storms coming in from the northwest. It started getting dark. The boys were in and out of the house. We were looking at the radar like it might actually hit us, and then it kept getting closer, and it was right on the verge of like hitting us. And we were watching our show, Better Call Saul. You haven't watched it? Watch Breaking Bad first, then watch that.
We are not condoning that it's a good show to be watching.
It's a great show.
Well, it's not. It's a good show, it is, but it's not appropriate. I'll tell you that much.
So we were watching that and just chilling out, and then big crash of lightning hit really close to the house. Skylar was actually on the bed with us, and she's not really scared about stuff like that, but she like climbed up in between us on the bed. Boys were running in and out, and then I don't remember exactly how it happened.
Well, so we knew storms were going to probably develop, but they said they were going to develop well to the east of us, like 3 hours to the east of us. And those storms like blew up and came in, and they got severe really quick, I think because we were so hot. So the storms, we really weren't expecting to get any rain, and we were just thankful the rain was going to happen. So that big crash of lightning, we lost power for a brief second. We all kind of got up and went outside, and we were kind of watching outside. The lightning was intense. It was crazy. Probably the weirdest lightning I've ever seen. We went back in, and then my phone rang. It was still lightning and stuff. My phone rang. It was our neighbor, and she said, "Shanna, is that a fire?" And I was like, "Where?" And I went to the back porch, and behind our chicken coop.
I'll show the video right now.
911, I'm going. Fire. Hey, that fire. Hey, fire. The pasture tractor's on fire. So we look out, as you can see, behind our shed to the back of the property over the hill, it was glowing orange, and it was an orange like I have never seen before in my life. It was intense, and then the lightning would like light the sky up, and you could see it.
See the smoke and everything.
Now, in that moment, like all you can kind of do is get into like, our neighbor was like, "I'm packing stuff up, like we need to get out of here," because the way that it looked and where it was structured, now the wind was blowing out of the north, but literally 3 minutes before that it had been blowing out of the south. Yeah. And so
and when it's blowing out of the north, it would be blowing that fire away from us.
Yes.
So while Shanna's gathering stuff up, Easton and I go out the back door, and I get the water hose and I start watering down the fence line, the trees, and the shed back there. And I don't really know what's going on, like with them. I know that they're like running back and forth, and then
we called 911 immediately. Our neighbor called 911. I called 911. They weren't answering, because later we found out that there was like multiple grass fires that happened all at once with that lightning strike. So we're running, I'm getting like, and when I say we're gathering stuff, like we're putting shoes on, and I'm gathering like birth certificates and all that, because that pasture is, if it had come the way that it was, if the wind had been blown out of the south, if it had came to us, it could have been catastrophic. And it went fast. Yeah. Like it went fast.
So that pasture, normally, if you've watched our channel very long, they run cows on it. They'll plow it and plant like winter wheat and stuff. But it has not been planted. They didn't plant it this spring, and therefore it grew up in the spring when we got a lot of rain. It grew up, and it's probably waist high, maybe higher. Yeah. And then since then it's just dried out, and it's just I mean, it would have. I mean, like our shed on the back fence, the kids' fort, all that stuff, it'd have probably been gone for sure. I don't know that it would have made it to the house. I think we could have stopped it before then, but yeah, so yeah.
So we call 911, they're not answering, and Reed immediately realizes our neighbor that lives up on the hill, she's up there, she's elderly. This was like 9 o'clock at night. 8:30, 8:40.
Yeah.
So our neighbor, I'm on the phone with her and I was like, Catherine, we need to go get her. And so Reed runs out to the road and gets in the car with her, our neighbor, and goes up to get them because, again, where she was located, the fire was closer to her than it would have been to us. So anyways.
And her house is, it was closer. And it's covered like trees all around it. Like that, her house would have been more likely for the fire to jump to and catch her house on fire than ours. But
so as we're talking, it sounds like there's a lot of time that has passed in this, and it's literally with like 2 and 3 minutes that people are like, I'm putting like birth certificates, our cash, like in my car. Easton is back there with helping Tobin. 911 finally calls me back. And all of a sudden, the most glorious thing we have ever experienced, it comes a freaking torrential downpour. Yep. Like probably the hardest rain that we've had in several years.
So, and I'll roll a video of that. Well, actually, so then we all gather under the carport.
911 calls me back. It's like
I can't even hear.
I can't even hear them, and I'm yelling. I'm like, and it probably sounds like I'm panicking, but I'm not. I'm just trying to yell like, there's a fire, yes, we've already know Denton County is in transit, and I'm like, okay, bye, and like hang up on them or whatever.
We're trying to get the dogs out in the yard, and it's raining so hard you can't even see, and then like instantly the fire's gone.
Gone.
Like it just, like when you saw the video earlier of how red it was that red for several minutes, and then it just put it out. It was just a grass fire. So in that rain, like when it got to it, it just put it out, and then Reed and the neighbor got back, and we're all here in the carport. I'll show a video of that right now. Call Reed. And and it rained like that pretty hard for a good while, 20 minutes or so, and then it kind of got a little bit of rain, and it stopped, a little bit of rain, and stopped for the next little while, and then for me the takeaway was that like everybody jumped into action, doing their own thing, and when I was back there spraying it at the back of the property with the water, the wind was hitting me in the back, and I was thinking to myself, we're good. It's not going to come this direction, but I still did not know that definitively. So going into action and preparing was great. Easton, ran out there and helped me. Reed went up to take care of the neighbor. Shannon was getting the stuff that's important, and so like I think there was no time wasted in what needed to be done. And
but see, for me, I'll tell you, like he was back there and the wind was out of the north, but that front was coming through and the wind kept like kind of like flip-flopping for a little bit until that rain really kind of hit us. It was blowing out of the northwest, but then it would like shift and kind of blow out of the south a little bit, and it was like, I told him last night, I said there was no guarantee until that fire was out where it was going to go, because then when that front moved through, the wind kicked back out of the south again, because all the fires that were kind of left over, we could smell the smoke from them.
Yeah, we smelled smoke for a couple hours after
yes,
that.
and that was out of the south. So my takeaway was, and I told the boys last night, like for God to protect us the way that he did, like we have not had rain in 60-something days. 60-something days, and then all of a sudden this fire at the back of our property blows up, and then a torrential downpour. Like that is just, I told the boys last night, like, if you ever want to know if there is a God of saving, that's it. Because like it could have got bad really, really fast.
Yeah. So. And so, yeah. So Shannon and I drove by there this morning.
Yeah.
We went into town, had a breakfast date, and ran some errands. Way back we drove in, and the property right here is several hundred acres, maybe over 1,000 acres, and it goes a long way. But we drove on another road to the south of here, and you can see where it started. It looks like there's 2 trees that are about 10 foot tall, maybe, yeah, like right in the middle on this fence line in the middle of this pasture. And it looks like, and they're up on a hill a little bit, and I'm sure that's where like lightning struck one of those trees and it caught it on fire, and you can see where it burned. But
what's wild is, I was telling the boys, it didn't look like it burned like left to right, and that way it looks like a river.
Yeah.
Like the way it burned, it literally like turns and winds.
And that's because that wind blew it that way.
Yeah.
You know, like if there would have been no wind, it just went out like this, but the wind was just blowing it that direction. So anyway, we wanted to share that with y'all. It was an exciting evening. Everybody was, you know, adrenaline rushed. Easton, come here and say your piece. I know you've been waiting.
I went to the fire academy a month before this prior, and everything that they taught us about brush fires and what to do kicked in immediately. And I just like everything went through my body of what to do, and at first I was freaking out, but then I kind of calmed myself down, and we went back there and started like spraying everything down.
Yeah, you can hear the video. Easton goes fire, fire, and like it's. Like, and then everybody, that's when we all knew, you know. So.
I ran out she's on the phone with my neighbor, and she goes, fire? I was like, I look over, I ran out, I go, fire, fire.
So we just wanted to share that with y'all. It was interesting. It could have gone a lot different, you know, if that, I was telling them last night, if that rain was very close to missing us. We just caught the edge of it, and had that lightning hit but the rain missed us, that fire would have for sure kept going the direction it was going, and maybe came this way as well. And there's a lot of houses over that way that they could have got to, so it worked out really well. So what else? That's it, pretty much. So Shannon wants to show y'all something. It's like it says 93 degrees. I was giving her a hard time earlier. I think she's gonna start chopping firewood here in a minute. She's like got fall candles out, open the windows up, all this stuff. So, but this time of year, it's actually enjoyable to be standing out here talking to y'all. It's not horrible, and it's enjoyable to be cooking. So we got ribs on the smoker, and then we're gonna try. We watch 2 channels to kind of like help with our learning how to cook better and smoke food and stuff. And Shannon's enjoying the wind, and so. She's making some. We're gonna smoke some mac and cheese. This is not our recipe. We're following HowToBBQRight. Go check them out. I talked about them on a recent video. So Shannon's gonna take y'all inside here in a minute and show y'all what we're doing for that.
Yep. Okay, we need to put the macaroni together. Let me show you the ingredients that you need to get. Again, this is not our recipe. Kind of making it my own, but we follow the recipe of the How to Barbecue. He is on YouTube and Facebook. If you just Google mac and cheese on the smoker, it comes up. So anyways, we use a lot of his recipes. This is what you're going to need. You're going to need the 16-ounce block of Velveeta. And is it good for you? No, but that doesn't matter. But get the good stuff. I also grated a block of sharp cheddar cheese. You could use any cheese that you want. It doesn't matter. And you can even buy the stuff in the package if you wanted to make it easier, but I kind of like shredding the block. It melts better. I don't know, it's just a preference. And then I was going to show y'all need cooking spray, but I don't think you need that. So this is his Killer Hogs AP seasoning, all-purpose seasoning. We use this on everything. I'm going to put some of that in there. This is just a bag of elbow macaroni. You can use any type of noodles that you want. You need a can of cream of mushroom soup, and you're going to need 4 cups of milk. So make sure you have all of your milk. Okay, we're going to put this all in the pan, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like after we mix everything up. If you think that that's too much cheese, we can't be friends. Because it's not. Okay, this is gonna go in the smoker for 30 minutes, uncovered. After 30 minutes, I'll show you guys what it looks like. We're gonna give it a little stirry stir, and then it goes back on the smoker for an hour after that. So just to recap, a 16-ounce block of Velveeta, however much cheese that you need. This was 1 block. 4 cups of milk, you cannot see it. A package of elbow noodles, you can't see that either. All-purpose seasoning, and a can of cream of mushroom soup. It's gonna go on the smoker. I'll show you guys what it looks like after 30 minutes. Okay, it's time to stir the mac and cheese. The lighting's terrible under here, guys, sorry. This is the point if you need to add more liquid, you can. It doesn't look like it needs it though. Okay, everything's got a stir. So another hour on the ribs and about an hour for the mac and cheese. Now, Tobin's running the smoker a little bit lower than what it calls for. Hi, you're videoing me, calls for 350 and he's doing 225. So I'm gonna reevaluate in about 30 minutes and see what this looks like. No! Ow! There's grease on my shirt. I need to take it off right now because I like this shirt. Okay, so I'm gonna check in 30 minutes. I'm gonna see what it looks like. If I need to bring it into the house, I will. Right, it's been on there for an hour and a half, and this is what you want it to look like. Golly! My eyes are burning.
That's just how you make macaroni.
That's how you make macaroni. Alright, I'm gonna take it inside, give it a good stir again. I'll show you guys what it looks like. There's the ribs. We're eating good tonight. Alright, it's done. Ew, the lighting makes it look ugly. There's Sarah with
I'll try it because
her noodle hand.
Do you not know the YouTube channels where like, this is my, they're like,
Open your hand.
okay, I think the joke got lost in translation,
you all ready?
but it's okay.
This is my spoon or fork.
Okay.
Just don't video my dogs.
Very good.
I died.
Guys, another video.
Okay, so everything's done. That was easy to do. It was on the smoker for an hour and a half. You guys saw what it looked like. The lighting is making it really ugly looking, but it's not.
It's actually green.
Anyways, it's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you again. Bye.